So one of the themes of the way that I garden is never stop planting. And I'm just about to put these red stem pak choi and spinach in, responder spinach. And yeah, so yesterday this bed was peppers, the last of my pepper beds. And I picked about, I don't know, 40 litres, something like that, of peppers. And looking really nice. I'll show you those if Debbie hasn't cooked with them already. And yeah, cold frames make a big difference. Basically allows you to pretty much plant any time of the year without hardening off or any of that faffing around. And the next bed that I'm going to plant up is going to be this one. It's currently carrots at that end, and what is it? This is a bit of a test, so that I can remember. Salad rocket at that end. And I'll take you through the various different beds that I've got and when I'll be replanting them between now and the end of winter. So let's get on first off, get this red stem pak choi in the ground because it's pretty windy, and yeah, it's not enjoying being out in these conditions. It'd be much happier when the lid's closed. So I've really packed that red stem pak choi in. I've got 40 modules in there, and each one has got sort of 2 to 3 little red stem pak choi plants in it. So yeah, really packed in tight. The reason I've done that is I primarily want to harvest these in sort of late February and through March, and then they'll almost certainly go to seed. I've got another bed, a red stem pak choi over there, and tatsoi, and those will almost certainly go to seed in sort of January, early February sort of time. So I want these to be the continuous, to be the succession to those. And because they're going to go to seed probably in March, towards the end of March, when I'll have new plants ready, you know, there's not going to be much growing in that period. Sort of late February through to sort of late March. So I'm going to just keep on picking these, keep them small. All the leaves will go into salads, and so it should work out okay. Now these responder, these are the spinach I really like for this time of year. Not for the harvest at this time of year, but because they don't go to seed so quickly in spring. So I'm hoping to get, you know, quite a nice harvest from these in the sort of period late February through March and into April. So I'm really happy with those. I think they're going to do great, and I'm just going to put these little blocks on the sides so that there's only a couple of inches of exposed sort of airflow here. That'll be more than enough because it's going to be quite windy and wild over the next few days. And then it's looking like next week is going to be pretty sunny and cool. The plants don't mind it being cool. They're fine with multiple frosts and things like that. Cold frames don't keep them warm at night. What they do is they boost the temperature during the day. And for every 10 degrees centigrade above 4 degrees pretty much, you double the rate of growth. So if it's sort of 4 degrees outside and it's 14 degrees in here, these are going to grow twice as fast as they would otherwise. And as I say, one of the nice benefits is no hardening off, no worrying about the wind, and it's the wind that really kills at this time of year. So yeah, pretty pleased with these. Got some more spares down there. I'm going to plant those out because last time I planted spinach, I didn't have quite enough. So here's the spinach bed that I planted last week, and that's looking nice. It's coming on really well. Try and keep the leaves down because underneath the leaves you do find a lot of slugs, but yeah, at the moment it's looking good. So it's put on good growth, but I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 gaps, and I hate gaps in my beds. And I've also got this little plant here that's looking pretty feeble. So ideally I'd have 6 plants spare, and actually I've got slightly more than that, so life is good in spinach planting land. So I'll replant that one, and there we go. So you can see I've crammed these in, and again, that is because most of these I'm going to be harvesting in that really difficult period, sort of late February, early March, although I think I should probably get a few of these in early winter as well. They're not far off really being ready for a bit of a baby leaf harvest for the salads. So I'll give them a little bit of a water once I've done the planting, and because the holes keep collapsing on me. So here I've got a nice little bed of lettuces, and these are all my favourite autumn varieties, and so this is the bed actually that we're harvesting right now from, or one of the beds we're harvesting from right now, and this will probably be spring cabbages, and I'll leave this cover on until about March, the beginning of March probably. Then I'll move that cover onto that bed behind me, which I'll show you in a minute, and yeah, the spring cabbages will really benefit from it. It means that I get an extra harvest. So a lot of people will have their spring cabbages in the ground, but you know, I've got mine in the greenhouse at the moment, just in small pots, and so they'll be perfectly happy in here, and they'll be at the same stage basically as spring cabbages, sort of planted out in October and left to overwinter outside, but probably a little bit healthier. This is a nice little bed. This is currently salad rocket and lettuce interplanted into that, and lettuce down there. All these again are spring varieties. All these will be finished really by sort of December sort of time. That's probably when I'll put my next batch of Asian greens in here. Wind's blowing on this quite a bit. And yeah, and then they'll sort of outgrow this cold frame by the time we get to March, and that's why they'll benefit from that low tunnel there. And yeah, it should look pretty good. And then this is a really important bed. It's full of lettuces for harvest in midwinter, and then almost certainly I should think I'll be putting brassicas in here, probably something like calabrese or Romanesco cauliflowers, something like that, for a harvest in sort of, you know, late April, very early May. And yes, looking pretty good, as I'll probably plant those out in January, February sort of time, basically as soon as I've cleared all these winter lettuces. So as I mentioned, lettuces love these low tunnels, and I want to get some lettuces in for March next year. So this is the perfect bed for it. Right now it's got a few carrots in, and carrots are really lovely actually. These are the last of my summer carrots. Well, that's what I call them, but obviously I'm picking them in autumn, so I suppose I could call them the autumn carrots. There's some pretty good sized carrots here, and so I'll be clearing this bed at the weekend. But most of them are pretty good. And then I've got some salad rocket down there as well. I should get that cleared as well this weekend and get all this replanted to lettuces, as I say. My objective is to have all of my favourite spring varieties of lettuce ready in about the middle of March, something like that. So yeah, really looking forward to getting that planted. And then I mentioned that I've got some red stem pak choi. This is the red stem pak choi bed. This is the tapsoy bed. Almost certainly this will have gone to seed sometime in January. It's never easy to predict exactly when, but towards the middle to the end of January it'll start going to seed. And so I'll get this bed replanted, and this will be cauliflowers for May. And yeah, the cauliflowers really love these low tunnels, and you know, they don't mind the cold, but the daytime heat is what really makes the difference. And then finally we'll just have a quick look at this bed. So this bed at the moment is salad onions interplanted with lamb's lettuce. It's actually looking really nice. I've just had this net on just to keep all the leaves off them. But these will all be harvested by the end of February. And so this is also a cold frame. I'll just pop a cold frame top on here, and then I'll plant my carrots late February, early March. So those will give us a harvest in summer, early summer, and that works quite nicely with my carrot succession, which I'll just show you now. So I mentioned that I'm just harvesting the last of these carrots, which are the ones that have been eaten all the way through sort of mid-summer and the rest of summer and early autumn. And then I'm switching over to these carrots, which will be eaten all the way through winter and into spring, so pretty much until the middle of April. So at the end of April these should be ready, and they're looking pretty nice now. So the germination on here is really excellent. They're just about the right size, any bigger really than this, and they'll go to seed too early next year. So I want them really tiny. So they think basically by the time they get to sort of middle of February, when they restart growing, they think they're next year's seedlings rather than this year's. And yeah, keeping them tiny is kind of the key to that. But it does give me about a 6-week head start. So that's 6 weeks when we would otherwise be without carrots, when we will be in carrot abundance. Just a few weeds in here. Try and keep the weeds down at this time of year, because I don't want to be weeding in the middle of winter. All the way down the middles of all these rows there's garlic, elephant garlic. So once the carrots have finished, the elephant garlic will carry on growing, and there's plenty of space in here for carrots and elephant garlic to sort of reside together without causing either any problems. And I'll be taking the lids off here in probably late March, something like that, when the garlic should be sort of, you know, about up here somewhere. And then finally we've got these cold frames here, and these are all full of spinach and lettuces for midwinter. And so these will all be cleared by the time we get to February. Sometime in January probably I'll get these all replanted with calabrese and cauliflowers and Romanesco cauliflowers, and hopefully we'll be harvesting those all the way through May and possibly into very early June. That's the kind of hungry gap period. That's the time when it's the most of the biggest challenge for me to have a really nice abundant harvest every week. The rest of the year is pretty easy, but that period needs a little bit of effort. So yeah, we try our best. I'll put some photos up actually so you can see sort of a few of the harvests in late April, May and early June, give you a sort of idea. But yeah, there's a lot going on in the way that I garden, and so if you're interested in sort of following along and seeing how I do it all, then do subscribe to my newsletter. There's a link to that in the description below, or you can find it just at steverichards.substack.com, and it's free to subscribe to it. And yeah, you'll get all the nitty-gritty details. I like to show, you know, everything I'm sowing, pricking out, potting on, planting, harvesting, all the problems I'm having. I'm dealing with all those problems, why I'm doing everything at the time of year that I'm doing it, how all the successions work, how all the interplanting and relay planting schemes work, and all that sort of thing. So lots of nice goodies in there. And with that, I think I'm done. My name's Steve. This is the Outgrow channel. I'll see you soon. And if you saw this bed with all this salad rocket in it and thought, how am I going to get through all that in a week? Well, I'm not. I've just transplanted it into one of these trays, and I'll just pop that into the polytunnel. And because it's going to be really dull and gloomy for the next few days, these should be really nicely established and got over their transplant shock by the time the sunnier weather arrives, and we'll eat all that in a week.